because this was your year, buddy. Do the Cam Newton. You're supposed to be our number one, and you're driving like a bum. Was supposed to be your year.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Around the Circuit, Apollo Media's Formula One podcast. As always, I'm your boy Junior, joined by Mark and Ivan. Mark, you don't look too happy this morning.
No, I'm not.
We raced at the Miami Grand Prix. We had a sprint weekend, our first weekend back after a long break. It was an eventful race, to say the least. Not too much happiness came out of it from our personal fan picks, but seems like there's been a shuffle at the top, to say the least. How are we feeling? Do I dare ask?
No. I'd rather not speak.
Ivan?
I mean, all of us had a pretty eventful race, I guess, to say the least.
Yeah.
Within the first 15 laps, your driver had a bad start and spun out and did a 360. Mine had done a 360 in the air. And then by the end, Mark was suffering with the rest of us. I'll just say that.
Yeah. Man, I don't even know where to start. We'll start with the sprint, I guess, just because it was a sprint weekend. We got to mention it.
Because it happened.
It did happen.
Unfortunately.
That was our first hint at, do I dare say McLaren's back? They look like they have closed the gap to Mercedes. Lando took pole in the sprint quali, converted it to a sprint win. Where did Oscar finish in the sprint? Do we know?
Oscar.
But I know he was in the top.
He was second.
He was
in the
second.
sprint,
So
yeah.
it was a 1-2. Yeah, it was. It was a 1-2 for the sprint, and then it was a double podium for them in the race. If they wouldn't have got undercut, Lando probably wins that race. And shout out Kimi. Kimi did win the race. Shout out him for a great drive. Minimized any mistakes he might have made or almost made. Converted it to a win. His third win in a row. The kid is driving his ass off. I mean, there's not much more we can say about that other than he's putting BTA on his teammate. I can't take Mark seriously right now. Another stinker from George. Boys, McLaren.
Yeah, McLaren seems to be back. Fuck. I predicted this at the beginning of the season when we did our standings. I said McLaren would be second behind Mercedes because I knew eventually Ferrari would be Ferrari and we wouldn't be second anymore. We'd be down to third. Obviously, I had a lot of hope going into the season after the beginnings and how fast we looked, but who cares? Fucking who cares?
I mean, they still had the quick start. I mean, Charles led the race.
Does it matter? Does
guess
it
not,
fucking matter when
buddy.
your team fucks you and the Mercedes are fast?
I guess not. Ivan, what are we thinking about McLaren?
I mean, McLaren definitely seems, we talked about it a couple weeks ago, they've definitely unlocked that Mercedes engine now to its full capabilities, it looks like. They've got two good drivers, obviously. We knew that before the season started, but the team is definitely now coming along. They're making the progress of a defending world champions. I do wonder if they can start to close that gap, kind of like reverse of what Max did last year to them, where they can start catching up and maybe make this a fight that maybe we just have to watch more than two drivers for. But also, like, my other big thing for the results, looking at them real quick for this race and sprint, a lot of the teams made progress.
No, yeah, there was a lot. They look outside of Aston Martin. It looks like that 5-week break, actually, and maybe Ferrari. It looked like that 5-week break was actually pretty.
Williams and Alpine are like the two for me that Williams especially. Like Williams, I did not expect to see in the points. I know it's 9th and 10th, but still, they were back there with Cadillac and all them for a while back there to start the season.
No, yeah, it looked like I said that 5-week break was definitely a positive thing for most teams.
Yeah.
McLaren, Red Bull, Alpine, Williams, Cadillac. I mean, Cadillac wasn't racing in the bottom two. We had the unction going off at one point, but was Fernando Alonso versus Checo Perez for fighting for 15th.
And Sergio enjoyed it. He was like, "Man, I hope Aston Martin doesn't improve because I enjoyed battling Fernando."
Yeah, no, that was fun. To watch even for that brief, what is it, like lap or two that we got to see that?
That brief one lap where Checo was P12, and we were very happy. We were like, "Hey."
Yeah, I mean, you thought maybe they could sniff some points, maybe. I guess
still one.
Not quite there yet.
Not there yet.
But out of all the DNFs and of all the crashes and everything that we've seen this season, it's worth noting Cadillac hasn't had one DNF yet. So
I think that just speaks that they made the driver lineup. The choices were very good.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Those guys are vets, and they know what they're doing.
Yeah, no, for sure. You needed that experience, and it's paying off.
And then, I know it's fastest lap of the race, so I know it's not a bunch. You don't get any points for this, but I mean, you had the two McLaren boys, the two Mercedes boys, the two Ferrari boys, all with the fastest laps of the weekend. But then right underneath them, 7th fastest lap of the weekend was Carlos Sainz, and then 8th was Franco, who both beat Max in fastest lap of the race weekend. So
if Alpine and
progress.
Williams continue to make progress and continue to unlock that Mercedes engine, by the end of the season, we could see some very interesting midfield results.
I think the midfield battle, it's such a weird year where the midfield isn't like a real midfield. It's like one B.
Mess.
Yeah, it's like a jumbled mess where you can rotate any of the 3 or 4 teams. Any week you're going to do better than each other. I can definitely see Williams making those strides. I kind of questioning what's going on with Haas right now. They had that long break and seemed like they've taken a step back.
Stayed stagnant.
Audi, I mean, we haven't really talked about them, but
Audi was looking good, but they were literally on fire this weekend. And it's worth noting Jonathan Wheatley left, and the cars were literally on fire.
Yes,
not in a good way.
There's something that's happened at the Audi factory that, besides their team principal leaving, it's not the same as when they had before this 5-week break happened. There's definitely something they've got to look at on their end. Gabby did run the 10th fastest lap of the whole weekend, but still, you were running in 8th or 7th with Gabby before that, fastest laps on average for the weekend. So if there was any team that needed to be worried, I would say it needed to be them. I mean, we're not going to talk about what happened with Aston, or at least not a lot of it, because Aston had a weekend that was pretty much the rest of Aston's season. They were not good this weekend. The fastest Aston driver was an F2 driver this weekend.
Yeah,
that
was
bad.
That was something to see that stat.
It was
the fact
terrible.
that they didn't bring any upgrades is kind of telling, because it's like, hey, you're the worst team on the track right now, and you didn't even try to improve, or did what you tried not work, so you just left it back at the factory? Maybe they think that they're not going to make any drastic changes, so they're kind of developing their upgrades a little more. Maybe by Montreal or by Austria we see some changes. I don't know. It's interesting that they're the one team out of all 11 that didn't bring any upgrades. Well, one of the two teams. The other team being at the very top, Mercedes didn't bring any upgrades.
They either got to have a clause in Fernando's contract about comments derogatory to the team, or that man is saving one good rant for later on in the season, because he's been way, way too quiet for the way he normally is about when your F2 team is running faster laps than you. That is the Fernando special GP2 engine. I'm waiting on this mess to come out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just weird. Other than Lance being very vocal about how much he just does not like these regulations and these cars.
He got a taste of GT3 and was like, yeah, fuck this, I'm out.
Bro finished dead last in GT3 though.
He did not have a good
He didn't have a good GT3 weekend at all. But yeah, like you said, you step away from the sport for a little bit, or even for a weekend, and you're like, oh hey.
Why do you think Max always wants to leave?
Yeah, that's true. Speaking of Max, it's worth noting Red Bull brought upgrades.
Put the graphic up.
Put the graphic up. It's worth mentioning Red Bull brought upgrades. They look like they worked.
Yeah.
Hadjar definitely had a weekend to forget. He finished P9 in the sprint. Clipped the wall, clipped the corner, DNF during the race. Was very angry with himself. Just made some mistakes, and it didn't pay off this weekend. He seemed to be struggling with the car a little bit. He's getting that second seat. Just the car is, they make the upgrades to the car. The car gets faster, and the second seat gets slower. It's just a trend we've seen for many of years. Hopefully, Hadjar, though, can bounce back. I think overall it's just a struggle weekend for him. I'm sure he bounces back. Max finished P5 in the sprint. It's about as best you could ask for in that situation. Qualified P2 in the race. We thought he had pole for a second there. He was a 10th off, a 10th and some change off of Kimi for pole. So he looked good there. Had another slow start. Like Ivan mentioned earlier, had his spin, went into a fucking washing machine spin cycle, did a 360 in the middle of the track, managed to survive, collect the car out of the spin.
In a genius move, by the way.
In a genius move. And fought all the way back. Got some luck from Charles trying to do the same thing he did. Hit a 360. Passed him at the line. Collected P5. Got his penalty for his pit lane violation during the race. 5 seconds. Didn't matter. Still P5. The best finish of the season for Red Bull. And it looks, especially based off his comments after the race, it looks promising moving forward for the team. If they continue to get it up there, does Max start getting into the title fight? It's still very early, and it seems way off because he's only got 26 points compared to Kimi's 100.
Yeah.
Yep. But we seen what happened last year. If Max gets a decent car.
Yeah. Well, I don't feel like we're gonna have another papaya rules, man. Well, they're back now, so who knows? We might see it again. But when it comes to Mercedes, I don't think we're gonna see any of the papaya rules type business going on over there. I think Toto runs a tight ship over there, and he's not gonna let anything like that happen.
You think he goes full Andy? I don't want to play with Woody anymore.
He might already have, because at this point, we've already seen that Kimi and Toto relationship grow over the year. Shit, if I were Toto, I'd be like, I'm fully backing Kimi. I'm not going to say it out loud, but I'm going to be like, I'm fully backing Kimi because, George, what have you shown me? You need to show me that you're here to win the championship because this was your year, buddy. Do the Cam Newton. You're supposed to be our number one, and you're driving like a bum. Was supposed to be your year. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. This was supposed to be your year. You have the fastest car. You're supposed to show up. In all seriousness, you are supposed to show up, and you're letting a 19-year-old beat you consistently over the past 4 races.
He's out-qualified him in the last 3 races. He's won the last 3 races. And this weekend was George's probably worst. He finished, P4? Not even on the podium?
Was P6?
No, he was ahead of Max.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, George finished P4.
I don't know why I was thinking P6, but
Ivan, thoughts on George or Max's possible climb back? Maybe, who knows?
I don't see it for Max.
No,
I don't see it for Max and Red Bull. I think they've cleared one hurdle, overcoming the undefeatable team of Alpine. Now they're now past them. Unfortunately, Gasly can't keep up with Max. It was a good run for 3 weeks that we had, but he passed him up long way now. So I think they've solidified themselves as the 4th team on the grid for sure. That doesn't mean they can't improve later on in the year, but they can switch in and out of positions like with Ferrari right now. Ferrari seems like also they've taken, I don't want to say a step back, but it kind of seems like the other teams
they didn't take any steps forward.
Yeah, they didn't take any steps forward either at the same time.
Yeah.
I do think McLaren's in this title fight, even though they're not anywhere near it, just because they have the experience. And I do think I'm scared because of last year at PTSD. As much as I would love to see it, I just got finished seeing last year of a driver for the first time leading the Drivers' Championship by, I think, over 40 points, like Oscar was last year. And he hit a wall because it's not how you start, it's how you finish in this category. So, man, I just don't trust that he can be able to keep a consistency that he has now.
Kimi?
Yeah, Kimi. And then also, no DNFs right now. And this Mercedes engine, we've heard preseason that, when the parts get a little worn and reliability starts coming up, this Mercedes engine that's its weakness, is reliability. And we've already seen the McLaren drivers have DNFs this year because of that. So I assume it's going to hit Mercedes at some point. So I'm waiting on that. And then this weekend, not this weekend, but the next race is going to be huge because arguably this is George's track coming up. He has 2 wins at this track already and multiple pole positions there.
Yeah.
If Kimi beats him at a track where he's already won at multiple times, then I can start saying, all right, now, George, you may be in danger for a lot more than just the championship. I just think this year Mercedes is running away with it, but I wouldn't say they're going to go running away with it to the end of the season just because they may have a Red Bull situation where when they bring upgrades in Canada, you never know, one wrong upgrade can cause your whole season to go the opposite direction.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Kimi's sitting at the top 100 points. George has 80. Charles is next closest with 59. And then Lando and Lewis are tied with 51. And then it's Oscar at 43, Max at 26. I think those McLaren boys are going to climb back. Ferrari's got to figure it out. I don't know if Ferrari can try and keep up with McLaren, but based on what they did in this last race, hopes are not high.
They're only 16 points behind Ferrari, considering the start to their season McLaren had.
Yeah.
That's insane that they're only 16 points behind Ferrari.
Both the cars didn't start in China.
Yeah. No start in China, and they're only 16 points behind.
Yeah. That's just insane to me that they've made this comeback that quick.
I mean, they're like you said, they're going to be up there fighting for the championship, both constructors and drivers. I want to see if it's going to be Lando again or if Oscar gets his nose out there and into that fight a little bit. Right now, Oscar did take the podium the last race, but this race this weekend it was all Lando.
Yeah,
it was all Lando this weekend. So, I mentioned it in our predictions. I thought McLaren was back, and I thought Oscar would take a podium. I had him getting P2, but I said it. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lando there because Lando has had a lot of bad luck. He did have a lot of bad luck to start the weekend. Not so much bad luck in Miami, other than getting undercut and losing the race. Lead the race win, taking P2 instead. But we're only 4 weeks in. It's gonna get interesting.
We still have the whole European part of the calendar.
So yeah, the whole European part. We're gonna get to the back end where we're in freaking Singapore and it's really hot. Vegas. Things are gonna get dicey. I feel like we are in for a lot of shuffling when it comes to the championships this season, unless Kimi just absolutely locks the fuck in and surprises all of us. But like you said, I would not be surprised to see him hit that wall similar to the way Oscar did last year. Like one bad weekend just kind of tears him down mentally or just runs into some bad luck. And next thing you know, Lando or George or Oscar are up there fighting for... Maybe we get a 4-way fight going to the final race this year instead of a 3-way.
Right. And then there was a couple drivers got off the snide for this weekend too. I think, did Alex have any points before this weekend started?
I don't think there was no.
I don't think he had any points before this weekend started. But we got a couple more people that got points this weekend. For me, man, the biggest point of the season is going to be upgrades. But
yeah, that was Alex's first. He got his 1 point this weekend.
Yeah, I was going to say Alex got.
I think Carlos he has 4 points now, so I think this is his second points finish.
Yeah. I think obviously the upgrades are going to be a big part for this season, but I don't want to. It could be the copium for me. I don't think Ferrari's out of it yet. I think they're hitting the Ferrari wall like they always do around this time. Because normally around this time you would be about 7 races in, and this is around the time when Ferrari would start doing Ferrari things anyway. It's going to be tough for them to stay ahead of McLaren. I think that Mercedes engine has just set itself apart. Red Bull, they're the most confusing team to me. They seem like they have good upgrades, but it seems like those upgrades will have that car on a knife's edge again. Now, that may help Max because that's the way he likes driving.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to be better for the team. You may have just moved yourself back to the position you were with Checo and when you had Liam and Yuki last year.
Yeah. I mean, it comes down to the question. I mean, the one thing we talked about all last year, if that's the case and Max can find his way into the Drivers' Championship fight, are you okay with only winning the Drivers because your second driver can't do shit with the car? And the Constructors, just you end up finishing P3, P4 in the Constructors, but Max is fighting for the Driver Championship. Do you take that? You know? And the answer has been yes the last few years. We're under a new regime this year. You know? All the big heads at Red Bull have left. Even GP's leaving in a couple years. Schmidt might be leaving eventually. It's Laurent Meki's team. Does he make a different call? I have a hard time finding him slowing down Max to help Isaac. You know what I mean?
have a little bit of a conspiracy. Well, here's the only reason why I would say that. My little conspiracy theory is I think that's also what's kind of contributed to a lot of the Red Bull people leaving, not only like the work environment, the change with Christian, but if you're having your team, if you're not in Max's garage, what are you going after the past 2 years at Red Bull? Like, what has your job been at Red Bull the past 2 years? You've had Checo, you've had Liam, you've had Yuki there. There has not been anything for you if you've been on that side of the garage to celebrate about. Yeah, if you're in Max's garage, you've been doing splendid the past couple of years.
Yeah.
But to be able to work for a team and say, we won both championships. Like, you see it, people going to McLaren all the time. Maybe because they're the team that, like, we don't care. We're going to make sure both our drivers get points, and we're going to finish, make sure we win the Constructors. Mm-hmm. I know all those mechanics would like to see their hard work rewarded with a Constructors Championship.
Yeah.
And I do think that kind of hurts Red Bull, so maybe that's why I think Laurent may be going in a different direction, or at least consider it, because you can't keep employees if you're not going to give them nothing at the end.
I think it eventually gets to the point where you're just running different setups too, though. You're gonna have to find what works for Isaac. If that's the case, and you really want to push both, you're gonna have to run different setups. You're gonna have the thing is, can you afford it with the cost cap?
Yeah.
Can you make improvements to this one car and still keep trying to get Max faster and closer to the championship? Can you know what I mean? So it gets tricky. I would not want to be in Laurent Meki's job. I mean, I guess I kind of would, because that'd be fucking cool. But it's definitely some hard questions to ask. I know you already mentioned it once, but I got to mention it as why I wore the hat. Williams, double points. Shout out my boys Carlos and Alex, even if Carlos was trying to slander Max on the radios. That was a good finish for them. I think they ran into a little bit of luck that kind of helped get them there, but double points is double points.
I think everybody in the sport runs into luck every once in a while.
Yeah, luck is part of the sport. Unfortunately or unfortunately, however you look at it, luck is part of F1. They ran into some. They finished double points. Hopefully, we can get back to saying Williams is back and it gets them back. I would like to see Williams try to start challenging Alpine, Haas.
Yeah.
Don't know which way Audi's fixing to go, so it's hard to say them. But Alpine even looked good. If it wasn't for Liam Lawson being a terrorist, they probably have a double points finish.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because without Liam Lawson completely taking out Pierre Gasly and trying to assassinate him on the track, you know.
Gave us some great photos.
Yeah, great. Everybody loves to see a crash in motorsports every now and then, especially when the driver's okay.
Right.
Crashes are part of it. Crashes are cool to see. But holy shit, my man went, fucking, that motherfucker flipped, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it was funny as we were sitting here watching it live. It's showing the front of the pack, and then it cuts to, and his car is just like broken in half on top of the barrier, and we're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
I didn't see anything come out of that on Liam Lawson either. I think maybe the fact that he DNF'd saved him from catching any kind of penalty from that.
Yeah.
It was kind of like the Fernando Alonso, Jolyon Palmer thing. Karma. That's all they pretty much said.
It was like, hey, give the, you take overtake off track, give the position back. It was like, hey, go ahead and just end your race too, buddy. We're gonna go ahead and save your penalty license, your super license. Save you from any penalty points. Just go ahead and just go park the car.
Yeah.
You're a hazard on the track.
Yeah, get out of here.
You noted on this too, Junior, but like the Max and Carlos stuff had me laughing this weekend because pretty much the way I saw it, Max was like a person that goes on a lot of flights and is used to flying first class.
Yeah.
And then they put him in coach for one flight.
And you're just like,
I don't like the heck. I'm getting the heck up out of here. Get me the heck up out of this coach.
Out of this. Yeah, it's like, get me out of here.
So he tried running off, and Carlos.
But the thing is, too, like if you watch the move, like it was kind of a dive bomb, but neither one of them went off track. I understand Carlos being upset because it was a dive bomb, but like Max kept the car on the track. Yeah, Carlos had to hit the brakes and keep it on the track as well. But we've seen Max do a lot more drastic moves. We saw it in the sprint race when him and Lewis. That was the best part of the sprint. Yeah. Was Max and Lewis fighting like it was 2021 all over again. There was a point where Max completely ran Lewis off, and then he gave the position back and still overtook him later on in the sprint. But if you look at those two moves, what he did to Carlos was nothing. No, it was just a good. You see a gap, you take it. You're aggressive as fuck. Sorry, Carlos, you didn't like it. Welcome back to fucking fighting Max Verstappen, You're not fighting Lance Stroll anymore, buddy.
It was good to see some of the midfield drivers fight back.
Oh, yeah.
It was like when Debo and Friday got beat down and everybody starts taking the stuff from him now.
Yeah.
You saw Alex go up in there and Liam was like, oh, shoot, he back here with me now. He's in my world, bro.
Yeah, I think him and Liam fucking banged wheels at one point.
Yeah, Liam.
Max fought his way back up through the midfield after his fucking spin. But he literally had to, fight. Like, every person he passed by, they were like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. He was like, these motherfuckers here.
Damn, they throwing hands.
Yeah, he's like, they throwing hands. Hold up. And he still came out on top. So, shout out Max. But holy fuck. It was fun to see. Like, as much as it sucks that he's not racing at the front, the top three for a podium. I mean, at one point, it almost looked like a podium was possible for Max. Unfortunately, he had fucking hard tires that went 51 laps out of a 50-lap race. It is what it is. I think Max's situation where they pit him early on the sixth lap under the safety car, they were hoping for a second safety car, whether it be rain or somebody else do something crazy. I mean, shit. They almost got. I mean, it was last lap, so it wouldn't have mattered. But with Charles spinning, I think they were hoping for something.
Yeah.
You take P5 and you lose out on that podium because you decided to stay out and do that super long stint on those tires. You took the gamble, you lost this week. Maybe next week you fucking win it,
Yeah.
But
the top five is this is the way I see it. Formula One racing is in the top five. After from 6 down, welcome to Death Pit Racing.
Yeah. 6 to about 12.
We're fighting to the death.
Yeah, because 12 and 11 are fighting to get into those points. 6 and down, they're just hoping to the best finish possible and stay in the points. And and then there was Max in P15. When he came out from his pit stop on the safety car, he was P15, and he fought his way through that fucking crowd. I think that's what earned him driver of the day. But you got, like Mark said, you got to put the graphic. Started P2, finished P5, driver of the day. What was the one in Spain? It was started P2.
Started second, finished 10th.
Finished 10th. driver of the day. I'll never understand driver of the day voting, but hey, I'll take the fucking win. We leaving here with something, you know what I mean?
Just thank the Dutch. Just thank the Dutch for that one. They vote no matter what. I'm assuming when that flag drops green, they already have put in 20 Max Verstappen driver of the day votes.
Yeah, there's multiple phones. It's like the guy that meme where the guy has the bike and he has all the Pokemon Go phones.
Yes,
that's them voting. Are you ready, Mark?
No,
because we got to talk about it. Charles looked like he was going to get podium. He had a great start. Terrible pit stop. His first pit stop was almost 4 seconds long. I think it was 3.7, 3.8.
Yeah.
His pit stop they fucked him in the pits. So it comes to the end where he's fighting for a podium. McLaren was just a little bit too fast. Oscar overtakes him. And then we go into the last lap. And he decides, oh, Max can do it. I can do it too. Does the spin, hits the wall, breaks the suspension, gets overtaken by George during that lap, right before going into the last 2 turns, and then at the line gets overtaken by Max, drops from P3 down to P6, all within half a lap, all within the final lap, then takes the 20-second penalty for, what was the verbiage? It was driving off the track multiple times without a valid reason or something like that.
Yes.
Dude could not turn his car. Just overall bad weekend for Charles. Not so much all his fault. The spin, who knows what happened there, what caused it. It seemed to be a mistake on his end. So, yeah, you kind of put that blame on him.
From what I saw,
but he already had his race.
Wear.
From what he had already had, his race was already fucked when he pit. Terrible strategy. They pit him too early. They pit him way too early, if you ask me. Yeah. Then they fucking give him a slow pit stop.
Yeah.
And it's just downhill from there. And then you look at the other side of the garage in Ferrari, and Lewis Hamilton was nowhere to be found.
No.
Nowhere to be found.
Thankfully, it wasn't down in like fucking P10, P11.
Yeah.
But he was nowhere to be found.
He did have damage. I don't.
Was it confirmed he had damage? Or is this just because that was my guess during the race, is when he made contact with Liam, I think, to start the race. Maybe he took damage. I didn't see anything confirming it, but it just looked like he just wasn't there all weekend. Bro was still at Coachella, I guess.
He seemed like a step behind either way.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he had. From what I've heard, majority say he's had damage. I've had some people say it was damage, but it wasn't that bad. So something happened to his car, obviously, but I don't know if it was bad enough to like merit where he was.
Mentally, I think he was still at the factory every week, or in this case, Coachella and the beach. But I know Mark is ready to explode. Mark had a rough day as a Ferrari fan.
I already exploded. I don't feel like fucking exploding anymore. But fuck it. Like, fuck the FIA, first of all. I get you serve the penalty. I get it. But you look at the F1 has the fucking audacity to post the onboard afterwards, and they're like, this is why Charles had no break. The motherfucker was turning right. Yeah. And the car was still going straight. Where the fuck is he supposed to go? The wall?
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you on our text message is you take the 20-second penalty and still finish P8 versus the only other option it seems like the FIA wanted from him is to just fucking stop his race on the last lap.
It's stupid.
And that's unrealistic if you ask me. So 20 seconds is kind of a lot. I mean, it was equivalent to what they put as a drive-through penalty, 20 seconds.
It's stupid. It's stupid. You can say it. It's stupid.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said, I don't know what they want from him other than to stop the fuck, to just pull over and stop. We're done here on the last lap. Like, let's be realistic.
They reviewed multiple incidents, and what was it? Only like Max and Charles got penalties.
Max and Charles, yeah. It was a lot of
George.
Yeah, George was like wheel banging everybody in that last lap. Got nothing.
I texted it to y'all, and I'm just gonna say it on the pod. George could get out of his car and throw a bomb at Charles or Max. He still wouldn't get penalized. He could pull a Mario Kart, throw a red shell, throw a banana, take somebody out. He won't get penalized.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting because obviously he was making contact with people. He was throwing sparks getting across the finish line.
If it was somebody like Max or Charles, probably be a different conversation we're having right now. But yeah, first pit stop, it was over. We saw it over.
Yeah, it was over.
I was pissed. I was very pissed. What the fuck are we doing? 3.8?
And they were joking. They were slow on Lewis's pit stop too.
Yes, it was the same time.
Yeah,
it was like 3.8, 3.6. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable at this point. I said it for like the past year. Something needs to change at Ferrari because it's not the drivers. It's
just. Maybe when Andrea Stella takes Fred's job after GP takes Andrea's job, 2028 will be the year. Lewis will probably be retired by then.
Lewis will definitely be retired by now.
And Charles might not be on the team anymore.
He is not going to be on the team. Ollie Behrman's him saved me. But yeah.
To me, this was like the first weekend, like for real. This is the first weekend I ever have like started saying, maybe Fred needs to have his job examined a little more.
I think if with the talks that we've seen and with GP being confirmed going to McLaren, I'm telling you, Fred is in the hot seat. Fred's seat is on fire and it's just not public.
I never wanted to like be an anti-Fred guy because I've given him some chances. But it's getting to the point.
Nothing has changed under his regime.
Nothing has changed.
He signed Lewis Hamilton and then that was it.
Some of that is not on him. There are higher ups that need to be held accountable.
True.
Which when I say some people need to be fired, I'm not talking about Fred, but it is getting to a point where Fred his seat is hot. Yeah. His seat is hot as it is in Miami right now, as it was during the race, because like you said, he really hasn't done much. And again, like I said, some of that's not his fault. But his seat is on fire right now.
There's a lot to digest with Ferrari, but like the biggest thing for me is that Fred was brought in as a person who was there with Charles since the beginning to help Charles keep him calm and, you know, make sure he stays with the team because you've got one of his favorite team principals ever. And even that is not qualmed like the fires from everybody saying, well, maybe Charles will still leave. So,
I mean, if anything, it's gotten worse.
His one job was pretty much to keep Charles happy, keep him happy at this team. He'll stay here forever. And his job has not been successful at that. Going to the penalty, though, as a person that has experience with it, because literally the same exact thing, I had to look up the race. I don't remember the year, but it was at Monaco. I think it was the year that him and Ocon got into a fight. Pierre Gasly had like a penalty for like driving his car back to the pits damaged. It was like a 20-second penalty. They do want you to stop your car. Now, my complaint, ironically enough, is they just kind of created a window now where, all right, we're going to penalize you 20 seconds if you don't finish the race. But to me, that's like the equivalent of the 5-second penalties that they used to give. And everybody was like, oh, fine, I'll just drive off fast enough to beat the 5-second penalty anyway. It doesn't help your rules be solidified if you're letting the driver only get a 20-second penalty if their car is damaged. Either give them like a, hey, you're out of the points, or don't give a penalty at all. That's my big thing. Charles couldn't drive that car. They wanted him to stop the car on track. Last lap of the race, though, is a whole different story than what Gasly had, because Gasly was like...
If we're going to play this human element factor into the stewards, right, and have different stewards at every race, and they're going to take so many things into account, you have to take into account that he was literally fighting for a podium up until the second half of that last lap. You can't expect the guy to end his race on a drivable car. Yes, he was cutting corners, so sure, you give him a fucking 5-10 second penalty, but 20 seconds because he wouldn't stop his race on the last lap, the second half of the last lap, like he only cut like 4 corners. There's fucking 19 turns in this race. You know what I mean? I think you have to play the situation into the factor of the penalty. They do it with the beginning of the race. Even the fucking Brundle and Crofty talk about it during the race. Yeah, they always judge the beginning laps a little bit differently than the rest of the race. Well, if you're going to do it there, why not do it at the end of the race? You know what I mean? And that's not to defend Charles 100% because his penalty did save Max from dropping. But at the same time, it was stupid. Like, to expect him to end his race, his entire race, instead of finishing in the points because of... It's a little bit unrealistic, at least. You know what I mean?
That's the part that annoys me is I've always hated that rule about...
First lap is differently.
I don't think you should change anything on your rules. Your rules are your rules. It doesn't matter when they happen. I understand where it comes from. Like,
but we should also have a set of stewards for the entire season too.
That's where the whole mess with F1 gets me more angry. Just because more than just Charles getting the penalty, it's that the rules are not being followed by the same ways for the same people.
The only consistent thing in the FIA is the inconsistency.
Yes.
Said it a million times, and I'll say it a million more.
Put it on a shirt, goddamn.
Put it on the shirts.
Because, like, what's going to stop a driver, like, with three... Like, we saw it a couple years ago. Technically speaking, at Spa, when Lando and Max had that run-in, technically speaking, both of them should have gotten 20-second penalties for that. And I think one of them did get penalized for... driving back to the pits with an unsafe vehicle. Lando, I think.
Did.
Yeah, Lando
ended up getting a 5 or a 10-second penalty that year.
That year for that incident.
And that's because he DNF'd. He drove back to the pits, DNF'd, but they still penalized him for... They penalized him for driving back unsafe, and then Max got the penalty for causing the collision.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Because that's the thing with me. It's like... Yo, these cars, like, if you're not supposed to be driving like that, do it across the board the same way, man. Because, like, to me, that should have been a yellow flag to begin with, to me. So, like, the FIA kind of put Charles in that position, too, because...
But they didn't yellow flag the race,
yeah. You don't yellow flag, you don't stop the race, you don't see that car going left and right off the track. Like, and then, they could have done something there to help him out, too.
Yeah, I mean, and then you freaking... I don't know, man. It's just so much inconsistency that it's just
like at that point, just stop. It's the same thing with like the spot or the Red Bull Ring stuff we were talking about. Just stop the race.
Yeah.
If you have the cars that are unsafe and you can see that, don't put it on the drivers who are taught to get every inch they can to get to the finish line or get to the pits. Like, just stop the race, put a caution flag out, either in the race there or
I think the thing is, like, they
else.
never want to end it. And how many times have we seen where they don't want to throw that yellow flag or that safety car out in the last lap, you know? Yeah. And it made for excitement. They got their excitement at the end when George and Max passed him up.
Yeah.
Especially, you know, Max at the line. It's very inconsistent, and I think it always will be until something finally changes.
Yeah.
Maybe when we get our V8s back, because we had to mention that, you know, it was confirmed, somewhat confirmed, kind of confirmed, that V8s will make a comeback into the sport eventually, probably 2030, 2031, I think is what he said. So we're a few years out, but V8s, probably some kind of hybrid to still be green and
that's the thing. It's not going to be a hybrid. To save money, they just want to do regular V8s with 100% sustainable fuel.
Well, I guess that covers
covers the hybrid. There's no need for the hybrid then.
Green thumb there.
Yep.
It'll be interesting.
If it happens, great.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold my breath. Let's put it that way.
The talks have been there for so long. If it does happen, I'll be surprised. But yeah, like I said, if it does happen, great. But still got a couple of years away from that. Like we'll see what happens with the regs we have right now.
Yeah, and then you got to give a quick shout out since today is the day. Max, 10 years with Red Bull. He made his debut on May 5th, 2016, where he won the Spanish Grand Prix, or he came out. He made his debut, right? Was that the race day, or was that when the weekend started?
He had raced a couple races before that.
But it was with Red Bull itself.
Yeah.
Ends up winning his debut race in Spain, right?
Yeah, Spain.
Spanish Grand Prix, 2016. 10 years later, he's got 214 race starts, 48 poles, 127 podiums, 71 wins, and then, of course, 4 championships.
Yeah.
Hell of a fucking stat line in 10 years, you know what I mean?
Is it the anniversary of his being in the sport or his first win?
No, his anniversary of him being with Red Bull, making his Oracle Red Bull debut.
Oh, so
because he was with Toro Rosso for, a year before that? His debut was 2015 with Toro Rosso. And then in 2016, he replaced Kvyat?
Yeah, Daniel Kvyat. Well, for the first time, he replaced him. He's done that a couple times, but we're going to move on.
Anyways.
By the way, happy anniversary to Nico and Lewis then. So that's what that means as well, because if that's the anniversary of his first race with Red Bull, something else happened with Nico and Lewis that day too that I'm sure they're not going to talk about as an anniversary as well.
Anyways. That was the Miami Grand Prix. Still so much uncertainty going into the season. We're still so early in the season. We got, 21 races to go still?
Yep, unless they add the
Saudi Arabian Grand Prix back to it at the end of the calendar like they talked about. We'll see if that comes. I know it's still in the talks. I seen something as late as last week that they're still looking at it, a possibility. They can't add both back in, but they're looking at adding at least one more back in. So we'll get 23 instead of 22 races. It's going to be interesting, boys. McLaren might be back. Red Bull's upgraded. Ferrari has had a Ferrari weekend. Kimi's still winning. George needs to step it up. And we get 2 weeks off until race week in Canada. One race, 2 weeks off, almost 3 weeks until the next race. Hey, we're here. Any last thoughts, boys? Any last thoughts at all, Mark?
No comment.
No comment?
My team got double points. Well, should have got double points this weekend. But, hey, both my drivers scored points overall, so I can't complain.
I liked what I seen from Max this weekend. Hopefully it's definitely a step forward. Hopefully it's a tell to what we see for the rest of the season. Hopefully he can fight his way back into somewhere in the top 3-ish, maybe. We'll see. Maybe we'll get at least some podiums from Max coming soon.
Shout out Sebastian Vettel. Because of you, the whole V8s coming back are a thing to begin with. So shout out to you for making those sustainable fuel V10s so they could show that V8s can still be run nowadays and we can get those loud engines back.
Oh, man, those loud engines are going to be great if they come back. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for those who popped into our live stream during the race. Yeah. We said it Sunday during the race that we're probably going to be doing a live stream for the Canadian Grand Prix. That might change. Make sure you follow us on all our socials so you'll get all the news at Around the Circuit on YouTube. Subscribe there. Like this video. Comment. Let us know your thoughts on the Miami Grand Prix. Follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Around the Circuit. And then on Twitter or X, whatever you call it, at Around the CCT. Follow us. Support us. We'd appreciate it. Follow us on all our personals if you want. At Marchon Warrior. For Mark, it's at MPCH Sound and at IO White 1 for Ivan. Say what's up. Hit us up. Let us know your thoughts. And we will be back in 2 weeks to preview the Canadian Grand Prix. We'll come in, give our predictions, and see what we got coming. Maybe some news comes out, and then we'll go from there.
Yep.
Boys.
Y'all have a great one, y'all.
We're out of here. Peace.